Hail and meshes, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. It's me, the Spot King, and in today's video we're diving into everything a beginner should know about this game. And we will start from complete beginning, choosing the right difficulty. There's 4 difficulty settings. Explorer, which is easy difficulty, Balanced, Normal, Tactician, Hard, and Honor. It's kinda hard, but a little bit harder. There's also custom mode, but I'm not recommending it for beginners when you don't know how game works. So if you just want to explore this beautiful storyline of Baldur's Gate 3 and never stress about combat too much, go with Explorer difficulty. If you want a little bit of challenge, go with Balanced. But if you're experienced turn-based RPG player or you know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons tabletop rules, I suggest going with Honor mode instead of Tactician, while you kinda will have only one save slot for this mode. Actually, when you lose, you can say that you want to continue your game, and game will be just a little bit more challenging than on Tactician. And now it's time to pick or create your character. First of all, we're picking our origin. It can be custom origin or one of the original characters that are already in the game. Each of these characters will have their own class and background. But there's also Dark Ursh character. You can pick any race, any class for him, but if you don't want to mess around with character creation too much, just pick any original character. I recommend hearing their backstory to understand what is this character all about and what is main goal when you're playing this character. While Dark Ursh got his own backstory, you will have experience that is nothing close to other characters, but playing as him will be a lot more challenging. So always think twice. But if you decided to go with custom character, it's time to pick your race. While Baldur's Gate 3 is based on Dungeons and Dragons tabletop rules, some rules are different, and the race rules is one of them. Every race got different bonuses, but in Baldur's Gate 3 this race is not affecting your stats and abilities. Different racial features will mostly be with different movement speed and some weapon proficiencies. For example, elves can use longbows. And if you play in class that is not proficient with longbow and you play an elf, you can use longbow. To simplify what is proficiency, it's basically a chance to attack and do more damage. But honestly, these bonuses won't affect gameplay too much, so my suggestion is to pick any race you actually like and mostly how it looks, because you will stuck with this character for next 100 hours or so. Also make sure to check sub-races. Not everyone got sub-race, for example human is basically human, but elves can be high elves or wood elves, and they will have different stuff. High elf can do firebolt, while wood elf will have more movement speed. Our next choice is class, and that's really important choice that will determine how game will be played. We got 12 classes, but every class will have 3 subclasses. Some of them are initially locked. For example, Paladin instantly can pick different oaths, which is his subclasses. But if you're starting with Fighter, you won't be able to choose your subclass instantly, only after you get some levels. We can talk about different pros and cons of different classes for hours, but because it's beginner's guide, let me just how easy is it to use each class. Barbarian. Very easy to use. Basically all you do is raging at the start of the battle and then attacking targets. And while being a really easy class, he is really powerful, so I am definitely recommending beginners to start with Barbarian if you don't know what to pick. Bard, on other hand, got proficiency with a lot of weapons and armors and also with a lot of spells, so it's far more complicated class to play. But don't worry, it's pretty easy to play any class. Still, to utilize Bard to its maximum potential, you will need to understand his skills more than you understand Barbarian skills. That's why I would say Bard is hard class. Cleric, don't get fooled, it's not your basic heal bot from other RPG games. This cleric is really scary and can do a lot of damage in Baldur's Gate 3. Among other supportive classes, Cleric is maybe easiest one, but any class that uses a lot of spells, I would say it's medium difficulty. Druid is hard class. Very variable class that got access to a lot of spells, cantrips, and can be animal or normal human, whatever you like. While being hard, he is really satisfying after you understand how to use this class. Fighter, as easy as it could get. Most simple, but most effective fighting class in the game. no matter you like to use big swords or bows. Monk. If you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, possibly you think Monk is kinda mediocre class, but with awesome gear in Baldur's Gate 3, it's one of the best classes in the game and very easy to play if you're going with open hand Monk. And by the way, look in the description, I got suggested build for every class. Now Paladin, a little bit harder than Fighter or Barbarian, but still pretty easy to use. You gain access to a lot of spells, but still will use mostly only one spell, Divine Smite. A Ranger. While being pretty easy at first glance, actually to use Ranger to maximum potential you need to understand a lot of action economy and other stuff, so Ranger is definitely a hard class. A Rogue. This class basically got no abilities at all, but to utilize them you need to be aware of your surrounding, see shadows, be sneaky, so to use Rogue effectively I would say it's medium difficulty. And now our spellcasting classes, Wizard, Warlock and Sorcerer. So, Wizard can learn every spell in a game. This means you will have answer for any situation, but Wizard is hardest class among them all. Wizard can't enhance his spells in any way. Warlock on other hand got really powerful cantrips, and actually best cantrip in the game, Eldritch Blast. I'm jumping forward, but cantrips is kinda spell that uses no mana or other resource. But spell variety from Warlock is really weak, so Warlock is really easy class to start. And Sorcerer, as you can guess, he is medium difficulty. He is really middle ground. He can know more spells than Warlock, but less than Wizard, but also Sorcerer can enhance power of his spells by using meta magic. This makes Sorcerer really fearsome class. After you pick your class, make sure to read your proficiencies, to understand what gear you can get on different classes and what weapons you can use. After you pick your class, you need to pick your spells, cantrips or different skills, or even subclass, and again you can pick whatever you like or just watch my builds in the description for your class of choice. Now it's time to choose our background. It's the least important pick when you're creating character. Gameplay will be almost not affected by it. Only stuff that will be affected is skill proficiency. For example, if you pick in Soldier, you will have proficiency in Intimidation and Athletics. So what is skills? That's list of all skills in the game, and as you can see from our background we got bonus to Athletics. Skills will be used throughout the game in different situations, so just know your character and understand which skills he is proficient with. While you can succeed in different areas of the game no matter what race or skills you choose, your abilities will determine how successful you will be with them. So for example, everything you do in this game requires rolls, and you're rolling d20, which is dice with 20 sides. If you will try to investigate something, you need to roll for investigation. And for example, there will be difficulty class of 10, we need to roll at least 10 to succeed. If we're rolling 10 and we got -1 from our intelligence to our investigation, we fail this roll. Still, don't stress too much and just pick whatever you like. But abilities is really important. So, strength will determine how far you can jump, how much you can carry, and also how much damage you will inflict with melee weapons and how often you will hit with them. More on that in combat part of this guide. Dexterity will affect effectiveness and damage of long-range weapons, and also finesse weapons. But most importantly, dexterity will affect your armor class, which determines how often can you evade enemy attacks. It's nice to know that dexterity, while affecting your armor class, also will be added differently on what armor you wear. For example, with light armor you will have full bonus, with medium armor bonus will be limited to +2, and with heavy armor you will have no dexterity bonus to armor class at all. So if you plan to wear heavy armor, you don't need a lot of dexterity. Also, dexterity affects your initiative, more on that in the combat part of this video. Then Constitution. Constitution affects how much health you will have, but also ability to concentrate on your spells. For example, Warlock got spell Hex, and it's concentration spell. This means when you cast the spell, it can be going for a lot of rounds. But if you take damage, you need to succeed on Constitution saving throw, or you will lose your concentration. Then we get Intelligence, Wisdom and Charisma. That's our mental abilities. So, you will see this star near the main spellcasting ability of your class. If you're playing Cleric, Druid, or ranger, it will be wisdom. If you play in wizard, it will be intelligence, and if you play in warlock, sorcerer or paladin or bard, it will be charisma. Also, as you can see, minimum ability is 8. Instead of bonus to our rolls, we will have penalty, and it will be -1 penalty. I can demonstrate it on strength. Athletics is strength-based check. Right now it got -1, but if we add +2 to strength, now it's 0. If we're getting it to 12, it's +1. So make sure to stick with even numbers, because odd numbers don't have any benefits. That's my suggestions to build balanced character. Start with Constitution and get it, for example, to 14. Every character will like some health pool, so that's must-have ability. Then you need to do some damage. So, if you play in fighter, use strength, if you play in sorcerer or warlock, get charisma, and so on. And then just decide, do you need high dexterity for armor class or not. Right now I'm playing warlock, which is proficient only with light armor, so definitely I need some dexterity to be able to resist enemy attacks. Also we can add bonuses +2 and +1 to different abilities. So my main spellcasting ability is charisma, I'm adding +2, and 16 is kinda maximum you should get. And also I would like to have more health, so I'm adding 2 constitution. So we're left with something like 4 points, and we can distribute them evenly among other abilities. Wisdom and strength is nice abilities, wisdom for saving throws, and strength for carry capacity and jumping ability. So character is created, let's go. And we are on tutorial level. Before Baldurs Gate 3 released in early access, tutorial level was a lot better than now. So this year it's my job to explain you what character can do, because you won't understand this after completing tutorial. So first of all characters got different universal actions. One of them is a jump action, very useful for exploration in case you need to get somewhere high or even low, or jump over fire or other dangerous areas. Next useful button you need to know is Alt button. It will highlight everything you can interact with, or better said, you can loot from. I see Mind Flayer and I can go and loot him, otherwise I would miss him. My first big tip for this game is to always explore. While game is kinda navigating you to this part, you know, over here, there's always secrets around. You can go backwards and see a lot of loot, you can read some books and also find some chests with maybe valuable items. Also there is a lot of nice interactable objects, or objects you can do something with. For example, this bulb. Always look around and check what you can interact with. There's a lot of fun stuff in this game, or useful in a battle. Maybe in the heat of the battle you can destroy this bulb with one action, and then you will have this brine on the floor that can be ignited with some kind of fire and burn your enemies. While you can beat this game without using these tricks, it's also very rewarding when you do so. Shove is our next action. You can shove basically almost everything. My character got low strength, so she can't shove this Mind Flayer, but most of the time you can shove something. For example, chest. You can shove it off the cliff, so chest will be destroyed, or you can shove your friends off the cliff, so they will be destroyed. Whatever you imagine, you can do with shove action. Also, chests and other stuff not only lootable, you can most of the time open them, but also you can right click and pick up. So now you got chest in a pocket. You can do almost with everything, but why to do it? For example, you found this chest, but right now you don't have keys or lockpicks to unlock it. Just take it with you, get it to your camp, and then unlock with other party members. Also, there is some objects that is interactable. Eldritch Table. You can press on it and you will get some information, lore stuff, or maybe tips how to beat some quests. But also there's different objects that you can press on and use them. So this stuff is basically elevator. Just press on it and you get to the high ground easily. Try to find out different objects that you can interact with and have fun. And now it's time to talk about roles. Roles is basics of the game. Every stuff will require a role. In dialogues you will see skills that you are rolling for in brackets. Also sometimes you will see passive roles over here. If you succeed you will get some tips or additional dialogue options. If you fail you get nothing. Don't look only on bonuses. Try to look what you're rolling for, what action you're doing actually. I'm not proficient with investigation and I got penalty for this role, but still, Investigation is just investigation. Right now I got only -1, but also you will have some bonus choices over here. Because while investigating I can't harm anyone, basically I can unlock different dialogue options. So we got 19 -1, it's more than 10, and we won this roll. And unlocked new check. While I got no bonus here, I got advantage. Advantage means you will roll 2 dice instead of 1, and you will pick highest result. Disadvantage is completely opposite, so you will roll 2 dice and pick lowest result. This affects chances of success or failure a lot, so make sure to get advantage whenever you can, and try not to roll with disadvantage. So I got 1, but we're picking 10. That's why advantage is so important. There's one more thing you need to learn on tutorial level. It's very important. You need to learn to read and hear what everyone is doing, what is situation. When everyone tells you to go and to use this transponder to get away, that's exactly what you need to do. I read a lot of comments and even reviews on Steam. Stuff like why I can't beat tutorial level. And all of this was from people who tried to kill big demon over here. Yeah, if you know how game works, you can kill him. But try to act like you would do in real situation. You're really weak right now and he is strong and really powerful. You need to run, you need to escape, and it's always okay to flee and escape from battle. So you finished tutorial level and you got some experience points. Now you're free to explore and fight dangers by yourself. But I advise you to use my gameplay loop. It will make fights more manageable and you will find a lot of cool content by doing so. Especially if you're beginner, you will enjoy this type of play. I call it Explore Level Clear. So first part, Explore. Just make sure to run around the map and get to every black corner. See what you can find over here. Maybe it's just bucket of fish, but still, fish can be used as camp supplies. Sometime you will find some books and get really valuable information on recipes. Or you will find some backpacks. And yeah, don't forget, you can even pick this up and get kinda inventory manager. Just by running around into new areas, you will gain experience points. And this means you will level up. While exploring, look carefully on characters you will find. Try to understand, are they dangerous or not? If you think it's safe to interact with a character, then definitely do so. You can do some quests for them or even get some information and basically level up for free. After you explored full map, then you go into level part of this loop. Your level is already pretty high for the zone you're in, and now all fights is more manageable. So clear zones and fights that you think is easy for you. And get max level possible before fighting versus really strong enemies. Let's get back a little bit. Some tips for exploring and finding cool areas. You can move objects. Just click and drag objects. You can move them around or stack them one on another. Why to do so? Of course you can climb on them and get to higher places, where you possibly can't get right now otherwise. Moving objects is also useful for different situations, so we just succeeded perception check. Now I can move this rock. And under this rock there's a chest with a lot of cool items in it. That's why Explorer phase is so valuable and important. And final part is clear. So after you get your levels, defeat all bosses, you need to clear a zone throughout. Go to Journal. I recommend pressing on Hide Completed, so you see only quests that you still need to do. But don't stress too much if you got a lot of quests. Some quests last throughout the whole game. So just read a little bit of the journal and decide, do you need to any quests over here, or just venture first to another areas and next acts. Don't forget to level your characters by pressing on this arrow on their portrait. For beginners, I recommend sticking with one class, but if you want some really sneaky, spicy builds, go and use some multi-classing. This button over here will let you get another classes instantly from level 2. But better know what you are doing or just stick with builds that I posted on my channel or other channels. There's a lot of cool builds on YouTube. If you play on easy difficulty, you won't be able to use multi-class, but you can change your difficulty in the game to balanced, for example, then get your multi-class and then get back to Explorer. By the way, when you're exploring, there's a lot of cool interactions you can do, and you can do them in a battle too. So let me show you cool stuff that you can do in this game. Elements like cold, lightning, fire and water can be combined, so let's make some water over here. We can use water to destroy fire, for example. That's why it's important to be creative in this game. Look, fire surface over here, we can go and be damaged and even die. So let's save ourselves and create some water over here. You can do it not only with spell, but with just basic bottle of water in your inventory. Just throw it and you will have some water. So, fire, there's no fire, but we got steam cloud. Fire and water creates steam clouds. I guess it makes sense. We can use shocking grasp, lightning damage, or any other lightning source like arrow or spell. And this steam cloud will be electrified steam. This will damage enemies inside the steam cloud. So, pretty nice and fun interaction. Same rules will be applied to water. You can electrify water and make electrified surface, or we can use cold elements to create icy surface, and enemies and our allies can slip on this ice, become prone, it will be easier to hit them, so really useful stuff. This Shadow Heart is really vulnerable right now. Another great tip for exploration in Baldurs Gate 3 is magical pockets. All allies got magical pockets. You don't need to keep everything useful like potions on each character. Actually, I like to place all potions on one character, all other stuff on different character, quest stuff on third character and so on. This makes it easier to find and sort items. And you can use any item from one character by any other character, so just go to party view over here, and while controlling your character, press on potion, and it will be used by character who you are controlling right now. They can be nearby or separated. So, separation. You can separate by dragging or pressing toggle party mode over here. If it's on, everyone moving together. If it's off, everyone is in different places. So Shadow Heart is now following us right now. After you finish your clearing and exploring, maybe you're out of health. To replenish your health, you need to do short rest. It also refreshes some other resources like key points for monk or warlock spell slots. Just go to camp menu over here and press on short rest. You get 2 short rests per day, then you need to use long rest. Long rest uses camp supplies, so make sure to gather some of them. Dungeon and Dragon players always fear to use long rest, but in Baldur's Gate 3 it's story driver. Always try to long rest as much as possible to experience whole story. On normal and easy difficulty it will be 40 camp supplies per long rest, on tactician it will be 80. So make sure to have some camp supplies or you won't restore full resource. Another useful button is turn-based mode. While combat is always in turn-based mode, exploration can be in turn-based mode too. In turn-based mode you have action and bonus action, more of that later. And also movement speed. In one turn my character can travel around 10 meters. In turn-based mode, a jump is bonus action. It eats 3 meter movement speed, but gives you a jump based on your strength. It's always very useful if you don't need any other bonus actions on your turn. Turn-based mode is useful to stop the time when the other NPCs is walking, running left and right. You just stop the time and you can aim your spells or do other stuff. Also, it's very useful in exploration in dangerous areas. To make sure your other characters not walking into fire, just stop the time and jump with different characters one by one. This is most safe way to travel around. But save time is over, let's go to combat. It can be very easy and straightforward, or very creative and cool and unique. It depends on your playstyle, but each encounter is different battlefield. Before starting a fight, try to understand your surroundings. Try to find possible ways how you can engage and from places you can engage, what items can you use in a battle. For example, here we got some ladder. Characters can get up and down over here. For example, we can start fight from this place, from this area. Maybe we come to this area from this window, for example. Enemies can come from this ladder and from these stairs. So we can destroy this ladder, and now there's only one way where enemy can engage us. We can put some water and ice on these stairs, enemy will be prone, it will be easier to destroy them. So that's a cool way to do battles basically. Try to think ways how you can engage in a combat. So even in this first fight of the game basically, we can use everything we know so far. Let's ungroup our party. I can use some boxes to get up here and to jump. to start battle from different position. One of my characters right now engaged in dialogue. Maybe these guys are friendly, but yeah, they're not very friendly. So I'm switching to another character. There is one more action, sneak or hide action. This will hide you from enemies when you're out of their sight. You will see what enemies see or where enemies see with this red color on the ground. You can see it by pressing shift or while entering in sneak mode. While we're out of line of sight, we can travel around all areas and enemies won't engage in combat with us even when combat is already started. Additionally, while sneaking, you will have advantage on your attacks. That's really big, as you remember we're rolling 2 dice instead of 1, so our hit chance is really high. Also, when you're sneaking, you can pickpocket your enemies or your allies or basically every character in this game. Just come from behind, start pickpocketing, and then you can take everything from their pockets. It will require you some skill rolls, so make sure you're proficient with the sneaky tactics and sleight of hand checks. Also from the good position, don't forget you can shove, and when enemies fall from high ground they will be inflicted with additional damage. And also don't forget there's a lot of cool stuff on almost every battlefield in the game. These guys standing under big block, while block tied to this rope. My main character is nearby, and looking through this window we clearly see this block, so I can aim my Eldritch Blast and try to fire this sneaky attack. Oh my goodness, this guy is done. So we start in battle and already -2 enemies. And only now combat is started. By the way, my main character is not in combat yet, and that's great time to explain you initiative. After combat starts, everyone rolling initiative to determine order in which everyone takes turns. Shadowheart is second right now. Before fight you can check initiative by examining enemies and going over here, so he got +1 to initiative. So if your characters got better bonus to initiative, you will have more chances to act first. Why do we need to care about initiative? Because we can do shared initiative. It's very good when you can act together with your party, it opens a lot of combinations. For example, this lady separates Astarion from Shadowheart. So now let's destroy her and talk about our hit chance. Right now it's 70%. How is this calculated? Basically it's our attack roll versus enemy armor class. Whenever we attack we're rolling d20 and it should be same or higher than enemy armor class with our bonuses. This lady got 10 armor class. So to hit her we need to roll at least 10 on d20. So without any bonuses we have 55% chance to hit. By the way, if we roll exactly 20 it's critical hit and damage is doubled. If we're rolling 1 it's always critical miss and we always miss. We got 70% hit chance because Shadowheart got +3 bonus. So even if we roll at least 7, by adding 3 points of bonus we will hit this 10 armor class enemy. But also there's spell attack rolls. They calculated kinda same, but not affected by your weapon, but with your spellcasting ability. Also don't forget, when you're attacking from melee range with ranged weapons or ranged spells, you will have disadvantage, and chances to hit will be really low. There's also some spells that require no attack roll at all, only saving throw from enemy, against our spell difficulty class. Right now Shadowheart got 11 difficulty class. How it's calculated? Really easy. 8 is base, then we add in our proficiency and wisdom modifier. Against Sacred Flame, enemy rolls his dexterity, so it will be d20 plus enemy's dexterity modifier. Try to cast these spells on enemies with low dexterity for higher chance of success. Most important part of battle is to determine what you will use with your action and bonus action, and sometime with the reaction. You can just press on action and see everything available with your action, all spells, all moves, and even items in your inventory. Or just use your hotbar if you know what you are doing. Bonus action most of the time will be used for something like jump, but also spells like Healing Word uses only bonus action. And also spell slot, so it's time to talk about spell slots. It's basically like mana. Different spells eat different spell slots, and you get really limited amount of them to use until your next long rest. Spell slots will be of different levels. For example, Inflict Wounds will eat spell slot of level 1. When you unlock level 2 spell slots, you can upcast spells like Inflict Wounds to add damage to your basic spell, and it will use spell slot level 2. But if spell requires spell slot level 2, you can't downcast it and cast it with level 1 spell slot. So reactions. Most common reaction is opportunity attack. When someone runs outside of your melee range, you can use opportunity attack to inflict damage with melee weapon. It will be used automatically, but also you can go into your reaction spellbook and press ask over here. So you will be always prompted with ask, do you want to use this reaction or not? Most of the time it's useless, but some characters use reaction with some other skills, for example Sport Druid, so make sure to turn it on, to not waste your reaction on your turn. Enemies will always react with attack of opportunity. You will notice this red arrow, so just move away from them and they will try to hit you with melee attack. So you know how to get advantage. You can hide, attack from shadows, but also you can have little bonuses from range attacks. These bonuses can be achieved by getting to high ground. While high ground not giving you exactly advantage, but bonus to attack roll. 90% chance to hit from high ground, but from even ground only 80% chance to hit. So standing on a high ground gives you +2 to your attack rolls, but when you're attacking from the low ground, it will be penalty, so you will have -2 to attack roll. Let's finally destroy this lady. And now we got shared initiative, so our party members can do their turns on the one turn, before even ending their own turns. That's really powerful strategy because you can utilize a lot of stuff and make a good combination of skills. Before I show you some combination, let me explain how damage works. It's super easy, so each action, each spell and other stuff got different damage types and dice rolls to determine damage. 1d6 +1 from our strength in our basic attack, inflict wounds just doing 3d10. So we rolled d20 for attack roll, it was 15, then we add in our proficiency +2, then wisdom +3 for a total of 20, against enemy armor class of 10. That's hit. Now we're rolling our damage. 3 times we're rolling 1d10. This means lowest is 3 and highest is 30. Now let's get back to shared initiative, so we will try to combine our Shadow Heart with Astarion. To trigger rock sneak attack from Astarion, we need some allied character nearby of enemy. So we just come with Shadow Heart and Astarion can do sneak attack for really high damage. But if Shadow Heart acts after Astarion and we get someone between them in initiative, this combination will be impossible, but right now we even can get back with Shadow Heart. And only after getting back we end in our turn. Very powerful stuff for good positioning and skill combinations. But sometime you will notice that you're doing lower damage than expected. Make sure to examine your enemy and see, does they have any resistances. It is very possible they are resistant to your damage type and your damage will be halved. There's a lot of different types of damage. 3 types of melee damage. Daggers got piercing damage, and bows too. Staffs and maces bludgeoning damage, and swords will do slashing damage. And also magic can do a lot of different damage type. Necrotic, lightning, fire, cold and other stuff. Also there is another action that is really useful in fights. Dip is bonus action and can greatly increase your damage output with melee weapons and also range weapons. You can use it on dippable surfaces. So it could be ground that is on fire or just basic torch or candle. Dip is a really powerful way to use bonus action in early game when most of the characters don't have other good bonus actions. If you're using torch or candle, make sure not to throw it, but just drag it from inventory on the ground. It uses no action or bonus action, or you can even press drop item on this. So now you can freely just move it without using any action, bonus action and other stuff in a battle. And when you're using dip, your weapon in the hand will be dipped in fire. Right now I got bow, so bow dipped in fire and will do additional fire damage on hit. Also don't forget, when fight going too hard, don't be shy and run away from the battle. You need to run away for 27 meters, and then you will be able to flee from combat. It works for individual characters, not for full party. When your party member is in safe place, you can get something from your stash and throw it to your party members with magic pockets, or just resurrect them after. So, if you're playing on Honor mode, don't forget you got this option. So another stuff that I already told you but haven't showed you is concentration spells, like Hold Person for example, or Hunger of Hader, or another 100 spells in the game. After I cast the spell, I will start concentrating on this spell. If I get damaged, I need to succeed Constitution saving throw, but every turn for 10 turns this spell will be on this target and he will be paralyzed. Sometimes it's needed to end concentration by yourself. You can disable it by pressing over here. And make sure to concentrate only on one spell at a time, because it's possible to concentrate only on one spell at a time. So if I cast Hex right now, concentration will be broke automatically. And you don't want to break concentration. This spell is really powerful and destroy enemies is really easily when you're concentrating on some powerful spells. So you kinda understand how to play Baldur's Gate right now, but I got a lot of cool tips that will improve your experience in this game. First of all, potions. Potions can be dropped and not just used. This can save you a lot of potions or even your party life. For example, your party member is downed. Normally you go in and help him with your hands, but it will use your movement and also your action. And also you won't be separated and will be exposed to spells like Burning Hands, Fireballs and other AoE stuff. Instead you can use throw action, because every character got access to this action. Just use it, find your potion of healing and throw it at your ally. Ally will be healed and get up automatically. That's a lot more effective than just trying to pick them up. So another cool way of using potions is to pre-drop them. Just drop them on the ground, it will create this aura or whatever it is. And after you start your fight, you can get back to this place and get healed without using any action or bonus action. And cool part, you can use these potions together. Instead of drinking them, just put your characters together and make your throw action on your feet. Right now I will try to use this potion of speed on 2 of my party members. I'm just throwing it beneath my foot and together we hastened. As you can see, we got bonus action with main character and also bonus action with Shadowheart. This works only for potions, so you can't use it on elixirs, but for example you can drop poisons on the ground to make dippable surface that will make your weapons attack with poison damage. Also, if you're not planning to interact with the enemies, attack from sneaky position and most of the time it will give you surprise turn, so you will make one turn for free with the whole party. Make sure to always look carefully to the right side of your hotbar. There could be some passives from your weapon and armor. And also you can go into your spell book and your passives will be over here. You can drag them on your hotbar, so you can turn them off and on over here. So why it's so important to look on the right side? Do not forget that spells like Hex, for example, can be used with spell slot. Warlock got only 3 spell slots, so it's really valuable resource for him. But after you destroy enemies that is got hexed, you will get reapply Hex over here, so now it will use only bonus action but no spell slot. Same goes for Call Lightning. Whenever you cast it, you can recast it without using spell slot. I guess it's worth noting that you can go to the map and not always travel on your foot. Just press on teleport locations and you will be instantly teleported to this place. Also, you can just use names from teleports in the right side, press on preferred teleport location and you will be instantly teleported over there. And lastly, how to trade and get rich. I will show you different ways. Some of them will work on PC, but some of them will work anywhere, even on console. There's 2 ways to interact with traders: trade and barter. If you barter or donate some items to trader, he will give you more discount on his goods. Best way to do it with level 1 character, so you need only 400 gold of donations to make best relationship with trader. So Asterion right now is level 1, I'm donating items, and we will be with the best relationship with this trader. This can give you a nice discount, but how to get rich? On PC right now you can just go into barter, pick any item you like, and then just drag it to your inventory. Game will give trader item for you, and basically you get all items for free, so you don't even need to be rich. If it's failing, just sell some items back to a trader, you will get more gold and then you will be able to get all items. But I guess this method will be patched soon, so next method will work always. In barter mode, give pouch or backpack to trader, then open it, make sure to do it with character that is initiated trade, and then just drop all items in this backpack. Players from console say they can't use pouches with traders. So if you're playing on console, make sure to just use basic stealing methods. Go into stealth mode, cast something like guidance from your cleric for better checks, and then go in turn-based mode, and only after this you go and pickpocket your enemies or just traders. But still, stealing gear that costs a lot is really hard. So with my tip for pouch method, you can still steal a lot of stuff, but I guess not just whole inventory. If you're planning to buy something from this trader, make sure to separate party member that is in good relationship with him to the camp. Then you need some powerful character with weapon, and turn on this passive, toggle non-lethal attacks. And then just kill trader in one turn. Make sure not to use magic, because this will actually kill trader. I guess this guy won't come back. but still we can loot all his inventory from his inventory, basically from his backpack. There will be everything that was in trade before. But if we kill trader with normal weapon attack, then go into sneak mode and then steal everything from him. Don't forget to use pouch method if you want every item, but again he will have all main weapons and armor on him anyway. And after this situation, just use long rest and trader is fine. He will be alive, he can trade with you, so everything is completely fine. But killing traders with magic is not fine. So now you're completely ready to tackle down Baldurs Gate 3, but still you need some powerful builds. I recommend you watching my favorite builds in this playlist right now.